Hey, it's Ron again with the Radiologic Technologist YouTube channel and blog. Before I run, I got to go pick the kids up from school real quick, but I'm going through my files today over the past decade of things that I've done in the world of radiology that have helped me be a better manager and that help my team. And I'm sharing this because there's nowhere else to go for this kind of stuff. You can't. Who's going to show you how to handle your email to keep you from going nuts? If you're lucky, you're a tech and you don't get a lot of email, but what does your manager or your director say? You are responsible for checking your email every shift, sometimes multiple times per shift. Heaven forbid something came out and you missed it and something occurs and it's the old Office Space. Didn't you get the memo? I sent you the memo. So this is something I found a long time ago. It's actually from the advisory company. You can see down here at the bottom, give them proper, well, it's right behind my face, but it's the advisory company there. You can see it down there. They came out with this. I grabbed it, printed it out, pinned it up right next to my desk because I was getting buried. I put a clocker, a tracker one time on my inbox, and I was clocking like 900 plus emails a day, and it was just ridiculous. Of course, that was at an upper level director spot, 120 employees. I was on all kinds of committees. It was just insane. So I just want to go over this real quick with you. We'll go like 5 minutes. So one thing you can do, start off, unsubscribe from anything that they'll let you unsubscribe to. Ask yourself, is this really important? And if it is, we'll talk about how to separate that out of your inbox and send it to a folder. But if it's not really necessary, if somehow you got tied up in something, I remember seeing a nurse's inbox one time who had been there 30 years, and she had used her work email to sign up for all the garbage that you can sign up for on the internet, and all the spam and junk mail was coming to her work email. Try not to do that. Try to keep your work email separate from your personal. But unsubscribe is the first thing, and then set up some rules. Set up some rules that if you got stuff coming from a certain committee or or it's just a weekly update or a monthly update, go into your Outlook or whatever you're using and set up a rule that says if it has the word monthly update from Bob in the subject line or whatever it is, set that to go to a folder that's titled monthly update from Bob. And that way, every time it comes in, it automatically goes to that folder. And when you get spare time, because we have so much of that, right? When you get spare time, go to that folder and then read it. Don't let it clog your inbox. Also manage your high importance items. If you have a flagging system or some system that tells you this is more important than these other items, figure out how you're going to separate those and spend your time, your precious time on the stuff that's most important. So like I always have a separate folder for things from my boss. And I have a rule set up that says as soon as something comes from the boss, no matter what it is, it goes into this folder. And one of the first things I do, and I don't have it here with me right now, but I think it's behind my monitor, but I keep an index card box of index cards, and I have daily, weekly, and monthly to-dos on them. So when I get into my office, I sit down and I pull up my box, and I start going through card by card, and one of the first few cards is check the box from your boss and see if there's any new emails from the boss. Because what happens if you don't separate that, or at least here's what would happen to me, is I'd be, checking my stuff from home or after work or before work or whatever, and as soon as you see that email from your boss, you're like, oh, wait, is this important? Should I stop and look at it now? And if it is, and you're not at work, then you got to figure out, well, how do I mark this? Where do I put it? Maybe you feel like you have to act on it right then. Slow down, separate your stuff out, put it in folders, and check it when it's appropriate to check it. So learn how to separate your high importance and the alerts. Auto flag any emails from external or imported clients, and when you can or won't, unsubscribe or set up an auto delete if you're getting, sometimes what would I get? I don't know, if it says on sale or something like that, it's coming from a vendor. If I want to buy something from a vendor, I'll reach out to them. Some things like that you can automatically send to the trash. Scrolling down, capture the attention. Know your intention before you hit the send button. So when you're filling out your emails to send them out, make sure you have a clean intention. Is it to inform somebody of something or to request something from that person? If it's not doing either one of those, what's the real purpose? Recipient should read it, then your email should inform. If the recipient should save it for later, then it's an inform. Recipient should reply, it should be a request. And if you want them to act, it's a request. So this helps on how you deliver your message and will help shape your recipient's response. Make sure you pay attention to your subject line. That will capture the attention of your intended recipient. Consider the time that you're sending it. You can control that. You can auto send stuff. If you're working late at night, don't hit the send button at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. Auto schedule it to go out the next morning, or create it and put it in a folder for the next morning, and make a card in your index box that says, check my pending outgoing box, and then go in there and see if there's things you need to fire off. But there's scheduling that should take care of that for you. Keep your message short and to the point. Know when not to send the email, if it's a private conversation, or if it's complex and it's going to require a lot of back and forth, just call, right? You ever get the, hey, I just called you because I figured, texting you is going to last forever, or emailing is going to take us forever. Let's just talk it out and get to the bottom of it. Know when to do that. Know when it's a difficult message. And then don't use the reply all unless you have to. There's nothing worse than getting 50 reply alls because either somebody wanted everybody to see their answer or somebody's not paying attention and they hit the reply all button. You don't need to reply all for a thank you or a talk to you soon or see you there. If your boss sends out an email to the group and it says do XYZ, just reply to your boss and say, I'm on it. Focus on the newest messages. This is going to be a personal preference. The focus here in the middle, focus on newest messages starting at the top of your inbox. That way nothing gets missed. So, sometimes that's a catch-22, because if you get behind on your emails and you start at the top, you may answer a question that was answered earlier, or you may ask a question about something that was answered earlier. So it's best to go back to the beginning of the day and go up your inbox, but that's a personal preference. I've played with both of those, but you definitely need to have your own methodology for how you're going to check your emails. It gives you this zone of acceptability here in the middle. 2 times a day to 2 times per hour is kind of what the advisory board is saying is acceptable. If you're doing less than that, 2 times a week is not acceptable, and you're just going nuts if you're trying to do more than 2 times per hour. So stay cognizant of that. We're in this society now where everything's instant and we get instant information. Just because your phone buzzes doesn't mean you have to grab it and look at it. Tell yourself, I check my email from 8 to 9 and from 4 to 5. And maybe it's your lunch break or whatever. But don't go in there every time the little thing. In fact, disable that little thing in the corner. Where's my hand at? And like my Outlook used to pop up a little box down here in the corner that says you have a new message from. Get rid of that, because every time that happens, your attention, even if you're focused on your typing up an email or reading an email, that thing's going to go bloop, and you're going to go, oh, what was that? Oh, it's from Sally. Oh, I've been waiting to hear from Sally. I'll put this on hold. I'll go answer Sally. Disable that. Go through it systematically and be logical about it, not reactive. What else? The follow-up strategy. Use a follow-up folder. So you'll have to do what's good for you, but you can separate your stuff out into different folders. Things I need to do today, things I need to do by the end of the week, things I need to do by the end of the month. Figure out your own system for how you're going to mark those. Use your flag system. Outlook has that separate section for flagging and a to-do list. You can put it on your calendar. You can put your to-dos on your calendar. It's up to you to figure that out. Everybody has their own method, but you have to have a follow-up strategy. Otherwise, you'll miss things, and people will know that you don't follow up. So flag your emails if that's what you want to do. Move it to tasks if that's what you want to do. Or leave it in your inbox if you need to remind yourself to go back to it. But don't just click the star button or the flag if those things continue to go down in your list as new emails come in, because it'll just get buried. There's a zero inbox method out there that tries to teach you to get your inbox to zero every day, but sometimes it's just not possible. but you want to try to get as close to that every day that you can so that you don't miss something. Don't do too many folders. Be smart about it. Displace your bottom line up front. That just means say what's most important right from the get-go. If you have a point to the email, say, I wanted to reach out to you about the radiopaque surgical item quality project. Here's what I'm thinking about doing, and here's how you can help me, and here's when we can meet to talk about it, and all that kind of stuff. But put your point right at the top. Clearly communicate who's on the team or who's on the email or who you need to be there. Set the time, set your action plan, be clear about it, and then set your follow-up to it. And then lastly down here, employing formatting. Use bullets. The days of, you ever see these giant paragraphs of text with no separation, no indentation? That's just so old school. Horrible use of English. Horrible use of formatting. You need to break it up with bullet points, break it up with bold letters, break it up with line breaks, indents, text sizes, hyperlink. You know, don't paste a hyperlink that's four sentences long. Use the box for hyperlink. Highlight the word click here. Highlight the two words click here. Hit your hyperlink button and paste that big long link into that, and then hit OK. So all that's on the page is click here for more information, not this big giant four-line URL. So I just wanted to share that with you, some real basics. If you're interested in this, you can Google it. I'm sure you can find it on the internet, or hit me up, leave me a comment. Go to my website and use the comment section. You can go right over here, right here on the contact bar, and you can drop me a note and just say name, email, and what you need. And I'm happy to answer. I've got quality projects if you need them. I've got templates for different types of reports and things like that. Anything that I can do to help you be a better student, a better tech, or a better radiology manager, I'm happy to help. If this has been any help at all, please hit the like button, subscribe. Don't forget I do a live Q&A every Saturday right here on this channel. I vary from mornings to afternoons to see how I can get to the most people, but I always post on the Facebook group the day before what time I'm going to be doing that live. So hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.